If you're stuck in a career that no longer excites you, feel like you're meant for something more, I know exactly how it feels. A few years ago, I was working as a doctor, which is a stable but also an exhausting career path. Everyone I know thought I had my life figured out, but deep down, I know that I wasn't truly happy. I wanted more freedom, more adventure, and life that wasn't really dictated by a fixed schedule. Fast forward to today, I built a location-independent career, traveled to multiple countries, and design a lifestyle where I can pretty much work from anywhere. So in this video, I'll break down exactly how I made those transitions, the biggest lesson I learned, and 5 key steps that will help you start your digital nomad journey. The first step is to reframe your mindset. You gotta believe that there is another way of living. Most people don't even consider the alternative, and I was one of them, because we are so used to the concept of success only looks like working on the traditional path, whether it's becoming a doctor, a lawyer, architect, or you name it. But in reality, especially nowadays with the online worlds, there's so many different possibilities where you can have the freedom to work from anywhere you want. So the first thing I do is I shift my mindset from thinking this is the only way to asking how can I make location independence works for me. And once you start asking better questions, you got better answer. So the first thing that I want you to think about is, if money wasn't an issue, how would you design your ideal life? What kind of work will excite you? For me personally, even though I used to work as a doctor, I know that I really love the creative path of editing or filming a video. So making a video or learning about social media was kind of like my creative escape. And that's why I decided to learn about digital marketing, because I know it can open up a lot of opportunity to work remotely. Which brings us to the second step, which is to identify and develop skills. You don't need to be an expert in everything to be a digital nomad, but you need to master at least one skill that will allow you to work remotely. I personally choose digital marketing, and it has nothing to do with my background in medicine, but with all the resources that we have online nowadays, it's actually easier to learn than you think. So you can transition in any career if you focus on the skills that is on demand. So some of the best skills include digital marketing, and here you can learn about SEO, social media, paid advertisement. You can do freelancing, so writing, graphic design, video editing, or if you're into tech, you can also learn about tech-related skills like coding, UX design, automation. And you can also turn the skills that you already have into a consulting or coaching business. But even if you don't have any skills to work remotely yet, you can learn them quickly through online courses. Now, I know there's a lot of scam online courses out there, but if you want to learn about digital marketing, then I always recommend checking out Digital Marketing Blueprint by Seth Himes. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, I actually have the link down below, which you can use to check out the free masterclass. Now, once you started your digital nomad journey, one of the biggest mistakes I see in aspiring digital nomad is to rely only on one source of income. Because once you decided to pivot to this type of lifestyle, you gotta be okay with instability. Whether it's moving from one place to the other place, having a new circle of friends, and you don't want to add more stress by just relying on one source of income. Instead, you want to try and diversify your income. For example, if you work for a company that allows you to work online, if you have the extra hour, I would recommend to take up some freelances. This is also a good way to build your network, and who knows, you might land a better job. Another way to add more income is by selling digital product or online courses. Of course, this depends on what type of work you're doing, but let's say if you're doing UGC or user-generated content, instead of just taking on client and working as a freelancer, you can also create a digital product about how to get started as a UGC creator and sell this digital product on your website or your social media channel. The next thing that you want to pay attention is to start lean and save before you leap. A lot of people think that you need to be rich to travel, but that is not true at all. In fact, a lot of digital nomads that I met, they actually spend less money in the same countries as a digital nomad nomad compared to where they came from working full-time. Obviously, this is one of the advantages if you're coming from a first world country. You can travel to a third world country like Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, where your currencies goes a long way. But I mentioned all of these places not just because of the cost of living, but also what I noticed, this is the perfect way to start your digital nomad journey because there's a lot of digital nomads who come to these countries, so you can meet like-minded people. It's also a great way to experience this digital nomad lifestyle by immersing yourself in a different culture. So here are some tips that I did before I quit my job. I make sure that I built an emergency fund. So this basically the amount of 6 months of my monthly expenses. By having this, you kind of build yourself a safety net so you don't have to worry about not having enough money when you're traveling. You also want to downsize unnecessary costs. You can also sell the things that you don't need. I think this lifestyle also encourages you to become more minimalist and also to let go of material things that you don't really use. And this is kind of personal from one person to the other person. But for me personally, I didn't start until I actually find a way to make money online. So yes, you hear stories about people like just taking the leap and go to certain countries and then try to figure out how to make money online when they arrive in those countries. But honestly, this will give you a huge amount of stress. So I would say even if you can find a part-time job that will allow you to make money online, that is the direction that you want to go to. At least you will have certain amount of income. Now, last but not least is you want to build a network and leverage digital nomad communities. I strongly believe in the saying that your environment plays a huge role in your success. So you do want to surround yourself with like-minded people. And honestly speaking, this is also one of the things that really inspired me to pursue this lifestyle. When I moved to Bali during my gap year, I met a lot of digital nomads. They really inspired me to take this path and also speeds up the learning curve. It really opens up your eyes of what's possible out there. It will also help you land clients, find new opportunities, and also stay motivated. So, for example, if you want to travel to Bali, you can check out Bali Digital Nomad Community. And same thing with Thailand. I'm sure you can find it on Facebook group. But from what I've seen, these communities are so helpful. People always try to help one another by providing some informations. So, yeah, it's kind of a good way to test the water and see how the environment would be. And since this is also the number one question that I got asked about starting the journey, I created the Ultimate Digital Nomad Guidebook. So in this guidebook, I will explain everything about how to get started, where you can find a reliable remote job, how you can choose the destination that fits you, and also some financial tips. I pretty much put everything that I wished I knew before starting this journey in this guidebook, so you don't have to worry about figuring it out by your own. So if you're interested, I will leave the link in the description box below where you can grab my guidebook. So let me know in the comment where is your dream destination and what's stopping you from making the leap. So that's it for this video and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!